Well, that was probably incredibly loud. Good morning. Welcome back to Sip and Sew. It is I, your host, Jen. Happy Tuesday morning. I hope everyone had a great start to their week. That needs to turn down just a hair on my side. And we are back for part 2 of the morning episode. I still have not put my hair up in a hair clip, so please forgive me. But if you were here yesterday or before, welcome back. If you're new, I'm happy to have you here. Feel free to say hello or lurk away in the chat. I almost didn't know what we were going to do today, to be honest with you. Alright, there we go. Almost there. Okay, now we can actually get started. If this morning is any note on how today's going to go, the small one woke up at 5 a.m. It was having a full conversation with her stuffy at 5 a.m. So we got it. We went back to bed. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. I have brain cells to my name, so it's okay. But I was like, that's wild behavior from you. You fall asleep too late last night. Like, what do you mean? Shenanigans. So, what I have decided we're going to do today is we're going to be cutting a lot of stuff, which is why we are on the 6-foot table and why you're actually looking at something other than just a sewing machine. I do need to probably shush that. Trust you more on that corner. Okay. And I may have to move this around a schmooshin because I'm not. My fat fingers out of the way. I don't know how well this is going to work out because my light was being a little shady this morning about moving without toppling over. Good enough. I'll take it. Good news. Nothing crazy happened yesterday, which I think is pretty stinking solid. Before I show you what we're going to do today, let me show everyone what we finished yesterday. The farmhouse squares. I managed to do like a money stack slide with them. It was pretty impressive. But this will be a future okay, my upper camera is lagging for me too. It's not just y'all. Okay. This will be future quilt project stuff. So we finished the last of these. This came out of a jelly roll, which was very, very fun. Cutting it into 20 billion different little tiny strips. And eventually we're going to lay all these out kind of cattywampus. Maybe not those two together, obviously, because it's touching. But future life problems. I just want everyone to kind of see what we managed to get done. But we got through, what was it, 9 squares yesterday in 2 hours? Which doesn't sound like a lot. But when you're doing a bunch of like tiny things back to back to back, it takes time. It takes a little bit of time. So, today's agenda, we have 2 life problems. Number 1, I finally have a tub full of elastic, thanks to my mom, so we can actually work on the workout gear stuff. So this is something I had talked about doing before, I was just woefully low on elastic things, which you need for obviously the joggers and the shorts too. So we're going to try shorts today as our first hop into the realm of pants and trousers and things, because I smelled fall on the air the other day. It's almost time to start working on my fitted knit trousers because I have a ton of fabric for that. So that's going to come. And then the other thing I did want to try and work on today my music will keep up. There we go. Seriously, no idea what that was about. Wild behavior from Epic Beats first thing in the morning. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go sans music this morning because I don't know why that's being so janky. Not worth the time and effort. Not worth it. We have stuff to do today. So if anything sounds heckin' janky or whatnot, let me know. But I'm wondering if Streamlabs did something silly. So I'm gonna fix one thing really quick. Turn that back on. And we'll see if that helps. It probably won't, but we're gonna try. Okay, that looks a little happier. You'll have to tell me if that looks happier for y'all. Right now, it looks happier for me. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, other project doodad thing for today is the next commissioning quilt. We have Olaf fabric. We have okay, I want one of these. It's gonna be another big one. But this is so stinking cute. Let me turn it this way so you guys can actually see the front. So it's just a bunch of different caricatures of, or like art stylings of Olaf, and it's the same like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks like 4. Same 4 drawings over and over again. So I double checked, and I think I just took a pin to the foot. Nope, just puzzle. I don't know if we're gonna quilt it. I don't know if we're gonna tie it. I haven't decided yet. My heart wants to quilt it. My brain knows this is probably not the best course of action for this. Now that we know what we can and cannot do with that thing. So we'll see what happens. Okay. That seems better. I'm going to try and turn the music back on because I can't. It's too loud. The voices get too loud. We need the music on. We're going to skip down to that one though because I like the morning coffee one. Alright. If it starts getting janky again, we'll cut it back off and I'll give up. But I really don't want to. But for the quilt, I want to line it up. Nope, and there went my tolerance for that. And there it goes. We'll just have to deal with voices today. Anyways, I want to line it up both the pieces so it looks like one seamless piece of fabric, okay? So I think we might work on that first just so I can say it's done, I can stitch it together, have at it, and then we can work on cutting out pattern pieces. Because what we have is two cuts from the same bolt of fabric. I don't know which one came first, and I don't know that I care enough to figure it out, but we have edge on both sides. Sometimes I'll be cheeky and I'll leave it on there, and when I stitch it, it'll just become part of the seam allowance, so you know it's there. Because I hate wasting fabric, even if it is just the edge scraps. It hurts my brain space. I don't know. Maybe that's some like latent genetic need to keep every piece of scrap fabric possible. Maybe, I don't know. Mom can probably answer that one. But I'm gonna fold this in half so you can kind of see how I can like attempt to get it in frame so you can see how long it's gonna be. Taller than me. So it's touching the floor and it comes up to here. And I'm wondering if this was meant to only be this big. Probably not. My cousin's taller than me. You know what? We're not gonna. Well, because I'm gonna have to line it. Oh, but if I cut it in half. We're gonna hold off on this because I'm gonna double check and make sure that she wanted me to use both pieces of fabric to do this. Because it's the same size. All right. So I am very suspicious. I'm very suspicious. She might not have known what she bought. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. But I will show you what's in here for the back. She picked out a very pretty navy blue, which I love, and it's God, what is this? Like a brushed cotton or something. I don't know. It's very soft. One day I'll be like expert at telling you fabric texture. It's not today. But it's incredibly soft. And honestly, no, she wanted to be blanking. She wouldn't have bought all that if she didn't. Yeah, okay. So my game plan is to figure out, we're just gonna put it together because I know that helps. She loves big quilts. Grammy used to do massive quilts. It is not out of the realm of reason at all. But so what I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna try and see if I can get this in the camera frame too, is hopefully this doesn't muck up my lighting too bad. I can deal with that a little after that. So I'm gonna check the edges and see how off it is. Actually, I can probably just do it this way. No, because that's gonna irritate me. Come on, unfold, you silly goose. There we go. So in my perfect world, we have them both the right way around. Number one. Number two, in my perfect world, when you lay the two pieces of fabric next to each other, they either A, perfectly line up, so you can kind of see where it can transition into one giant piece of fabric, or two, we can make it so. And I think we will be able to make it so. So if we look over on, it's upside down for you guys, and I apologize, but if we look at this side, we can kind of see it's almost like a diagonal pattern almost for the different characters running this way. So you've got, I'm calling it an emu, there'd be another emu up there. Olaf, oh my god, what is his name? I'm so ashamed that I can't remember his name right now. Oaken. I had to think of the saunus name. That's embarrassing. And then this is its sister piece right here. So already what I can see is, let's look over at this one real quick. There's about a hand space between each of the Okens. Okay, so what is going to be the easiest thing to do for this particular piece of fabric? Because we already have Oaken already at the top of both edges of this, which is a freaking win. Like, I can't make that any better. The universe was setting it up so kindly for us. So what I want to do is get it so after we're done stitching these two things together, we end up with like this. So it will essentially look like one giant piece of fabric because your seam is going to end up going here and lining up with the pairs. So really what I need to do is make sure that I have enough fabric on each side and decide if I need to trim anything off. And I think it might be better to trim after. So I may pin this just to make my life a little bit easier. We'll skip the trimming bit because the risk of me trimming it ahead of time is I will trim too much and then we will be very, very sad and we'll have to do it all over again. And it'll be a whole thing. Yes, we're just going to pin it, I think. And I am going to use probably the controversial choice here. I'm going to use our safety pins because I don't know that I have enough of my other pins. So we're going to use the safety pins. So we don't have to mix and match to do any kind of weirdness. Try using some actual paperweights to hold this down instead of my watering cup. A watering cup, like I'm a freaking plant. I do feel like this sometimes. If I do not get enough water, I certainly do shrivel up into a speck of what I usually am. So yeah, watering cup is probably accurate enough. And how are we going to do it this way, you may ask? Very slowly, painfully. But basically, we're just going to match up the pictures as best we can. And then pin it so I have enough room to get it underneath the machine. And get the pins out as we go. But the biggest thing is they're going to be off. This top piece is going to be a little bit above the lower piece. And that's okay. That's fine, because we're going to trim it and make it all feel better later anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I need to stand at. Here comes the boy. Ah! Hello, boy. No, don't lay on that right now. I'll get you a blankie to lay on. Just don't lay on this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, shit, got spaghetti on my blanket. Whatever. No, no, don't. Because the last time you tried to lay on a bag, you didn't like it. Move. All right, there you go. And put your pretty princess blankie back. See, I told y'all, once the table comes out, the cats are like, oh, come here. No, you can't be on this one either, because I'm about to put pins in it. But look, Midas, turn around. There, I know. Oh my God, princess. Your life is so hard. It is so hard being Kiki Cat. Yes. It's just so terrible. I'm going to swing the top camera really quick so you can see just how close he is to the situation. You can see his tail flipping around in the background. I'm going to try and do this without. Yeah. My cat wants to be a sewing room cat, and I will not be taking any criticism. You do. My good little sewing baby. Good enough. One smoochy kiss for the boy. Ah, delicious. Okay. It's a good day when you can get some Kiki smooches first thing in the morning. So, and this is pretty much what I had to do with the, what was it called? The Hurricane's quilt. Pretty much the same thing. Now, I do realize that the noses are going in different directions at this point, but that's okay because there are enough stable items on the character to do this. Like, the buttons are all relatively in the same position. The gray shadow at the bottom is pretty much in the same position. And I am not trying to make sure if the top is even or not because it would cut. This is the edge that was cut from the roll. I am not so foolish to assume that everyone can cut in a straight line. Because I don't think the Michaels tables have the divot in them like the Joanne's tables did. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention that much the last time I went and bought fabric. And I shall not be buying fabric for quite a bit more. I'm absolutely stuffed right now with fabric things. I think the gray boy is on his way to the table as well. Yeah. I was like second guessing my thought process here, but I'm thinking about what regular pins that I have. Nah. Good morning. Hi, Mom. I'm trying to get this quilt pin together, and I don't think I have enough regular pins to do it, so I'm using the bobby pins. But I am trying to line it up right now because there's enough. Actually, I'm gonna have to use the other pins because it's not gonna work out well because the fabric's already trying to slide more than if I just use the regular pins. So that's okay. Grammy left a couple of regular pins in here too. But what I'm trying to do is line up the caricatures on the edge so I don't lose a bunch of fabric trying to make it look like one giant piece of material again. Like with the McCain's quilt. So is this the longer process? Yes. Is it the one that makes me the most happy? Yes. I am more than willing to put the time in. More than willing. Make sure I put them in the right way so I'm not crying about trying to pull them out. All right, now we can party a little bit. Just make sure I'm not crazy. So now that I've got it pinned up on that corner, I'm just gonna like open it like a book really quick and make sure that I'm not crazy and everything else is gonna line up fine, because nothing is more irritating than thinking everything is okay and then you get it on the sewing machine and then you stitch 6 yards down and then you cry because it wasn't right from the get-go. I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm all about a seam ripper is there for a reason. However, yes, this is another 6-footer, because I was debating on if she Grimmy, I don't know if you heard me at the beginning. Probably not, but I was trying to decide if she actually wanted this to be another monster. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just cut one of these pieces in half and call it. But then I saw how much of the navy blue backing she had. I was like, big blankie. So this one's probably gonna go to Sylvia's house to go on the thing. Okay, and it's not gonna open up all the way because of where I got the pins at. I'm just trying to make sure we're close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. You know what I mean? Yeah, because that here, there's one like that. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah, I need to adjust that a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. This is the front of the quilt. This is the front. The back is. Where's my pen? The back is this. I think it's brushed cotton, because it like, I don't know. Maybe it is just a really fine flannel or like brush flannel or something. I don't know. But it's very, very like egregiously soft on both the right and the wrong side. Even the wrong side feels really good. Like, this would have been a great um, sweater, full over material. But this is the back. It's just straight navy blue. This is all top, but she loves Olaf. I am not surprised that this is the top at all. This is very, very Laura coded. Very Laura coded. Ha. Yeah, depending on how long this takes, we're at least going to get this top pin down. Small one arising from the depths, pending. We'll get to the other thing. I don't know why I'm suddenly second guessing myself on this. Something doesn't feel right. I'm sure it's right. I think I'm just having a day here. I'm actually going to try and line up this ostrich neck first. It just has a little bit more of a little bit better line work that I can. Oh, it's because I'm right on the edge of the freaking table. That's why it feels weird. Mercy. I would slide down, but the children of the fur are helping as best as they can. emotionally supporting, if you will. Sometimes we all need a little emotional support. Yes, it is the Olaf fabric. Sorry, I got on a ramble. I didn't see that when you messaged. But yes, it is the Olaf fabric. Laura does appreciates Olaf. So, sorry if anyone was expecting something exciting today. This is definitely more low key, which is fine by me. I was torn between doing this and working on my personal crochet tank top. But it would be a lot of me just, I mean, it's kind of the same monotonous work as this. Stitch, 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 stitch. So I'm getting closer to finishing that, honestly. It's got like the bottom third crocheted together now. I think this being up here is messing with my, yeah. All right, now that we have that corner pinned, I'm going to try and straighten these two out a little bit so I can try and keep it a little bit straighter. There, because again, in my perfect world, the fabric will magically just line itself up as we go, and I won't have to do as much work, and it'll just. That's in my perfect world where the fabric is sentient and listens to my cries and pleas. That's what your brother doing. I can hear him meowing from the back of the house. Silly man. Alright, see? And it's already doing what I thought it was going to do. The fabric is already just kind of starting to line up a little bit, which is amazing. I'm going to put one more pin at the top of this because the way that fabric is curling over, I can foresee in the future it curling under when I go to stitch and inevitably having to take it apart. I'm trying to do that. Not trying to do that. And I can also kind of feel as I go. I've got about like 2 fingers wide at the top fabric coming over. So as I'm scooching down, I'm still checking to make sure. I'm sorry, you can't even see me. There we go. Hi. As I'm going down, I'm also just checking to make sure that the characters are all lining up. But I can kind of feel underneath and go, yeah, okay, it's about 2 fingers. Yeah, it's about 2 fingers. So if it ever starts to be like more or less space, I know I need to go back and like see if I need to take out a pin or two, treasure around. But I think the fabric is sentient. It hurt me. Yeah, this would this would be best done on the big thing. So once we get this stitched up, and I'm trying to think, are we going to border this? I don't think so. I think we're just going to wrap the back around to the front, like I did with the King's quilt. So, but since we're not quilting this was going to go pretty fast. We're going to stitch it. We're going to ordering more batting. We got to figure out what we're going to do batting wise. We're going to kindly ask for some or just wait for her to order some, because I know she said she's going to order some more. I know she said she's going to order some more. I just don't know how long it's going to take to come in. So we get this fixed. We get batting. We cut the batting. We put the back on. Get the back done. And then we take it to... My aunt has this giant rack that you can tack quilts to. And it will... I'm just peeking to make sure I'm not mucking up my process. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to do a trim. I saw your question, Grimmy. I'm gonna answer you in a second. I'm just some of the selvage is sticking up, and that's not okay with me, so I have to fix that. What am I gonna tie it in? That is an excellent question. That is a really good question, because I would like something light colored, because I love when it shows through the back of the quilt. And I mentioned this yesterday morning. I almost want to try a new technique. So I love the little soft X's when you do cross stitch. I think it's really pretty. I think because I have issues with negative space. Okay, let's get to the chase here. I have problems with excessive negative space in quilts. Like, I love the new modern things where it's all very abstract and stuff. It's great. I can't do it. So what I want to do is, I'm taking these pins out. What I want to do is tie X's instead of just doing the regular ties. So for everyone that doesn't know, ouch, usually the tying process involves, I will demonstrate with this. You take, like, pretend this is a needle with thread on it, okay? We're gonna all play pretend, but you have needle with thread. You stab it into the whole blanket, so through the top, the batting, the bottom. You stab it back up through the fabric, through all of your layers, and then you tie it into a knot. And that is all. That's it. Very simple. It still takes forever because it's a big blanket, but that's the process, right? So what I'm thinking about doing is, instead of just doing one, we do two. And what will happen is we'll get a really cute X on the back. Now, ideally, this is going to take a little bit more like mental technique for me to make sure that the X's look pretty and even. But I'm ready to take that step. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, because it's just, the back is so dark and it's so much, and I really appreciate when the finishing techniques are part of the design. I think it's great. And I would like to try and incorporate that here. So, but I will show you here why I just unpinned everything. So each piece of fabric has what's called selvage on both sides. Yeah, see, I think the X look really cool. And you can kind of see it here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's these very, very tiny little like pinholes. That is the selvage. It's not that it's bad. It just looks janky. Okay, like it doesn't look good. Finishing, it's like sticking up. So the way I was pinning it, part of that selvage was going to be visible after I got done stitching it and opened the whole piece back up. No, 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 no. No, none of that in my house. So my alternative option is to save from having to cut anything. We're going to look at the other edge. We're just going to slide this over. And I'm sure some of you at this point are like, wouldn't it have been faster and easier to just cut it by now? No. No, because I would have had to do the math to figure out which piece to cut, how much of the piece to cut, and then also have to cut a straight line 6 yards down. No, it wouldn't have been faster. Not for me. Not with my current setup. No, no, no. Okay, so this side we've got a little bit more give. Where our hidden selvages, we've got more give compared to where the selvage is versus the characters on this one. So I think we're just going to flip it and pin it from this side instead. And we're still going to have the issue where this piece is a little shorter than that one, which again, fine. Losing an inch on the top, bottom, negligible problem. We collectively cannot be bothered enough to care. That is an okay amount of fabric to lose. And I do save those little piddly scraps for stuff. Just box those up. And I think just for my own mental sanity, we're going to switch what the top and the bottom is while we're pinning. There we go. So that way the shorter piece from the top is on top. And I think that'll give me a little bit better visual to line it up anyways. But as far as the colors go, I was almost thinking like I don't know, the one color that is not in the like a big color, because I like the oranges and the purples and the leaves, they're everywhere. Like I consider that as it's everywhere color. But the one thing that I'm seeing that is not as prevalent is actually the green that is in the hat. And like I think this little branch is the same, but there's so few branches compared to the like crap ton of leaves. I think if I could get something close to that green, that would look really cool. If there's a metallic silver in the universe, that would also look very cool. Because it's a very cool, like the background's pretty cool. And I could get a gray, but then the gray will blend in with the background, even if I stick it in like fun places. So lots to deliberate here. So we're gonna do it this way because I think I was doing it wrong anyways. Trial and error, much easier when you have grid blocks. This is not child's play. This is not child's play anymore. How many buttons are on the bottom of the thing? Okay, there's only 2 buttons on the bottom of the thing. I'm also heavily relying that when they printed this, they printed it correct, which is putting a lot of faith in the system. But that's pretty daggone close. Because his eyes are pretty close together in some of the other snow castles. And the reason I'm stretching and like manipulating it so much is I have extra on this side to do that. And Olaf's a goofy little guy anyway, so if it looks a little goofy, I think we're okay. But I know this is not where we traditionally need to pin things, but I'm doing this so when I flip it, it doesn't move, and then I can put in the actual pin that I need to put in. This is just a security measure, if you will. Just until I can get it flipped back over. And then I can sneak my hand in between and get it right the rest of the way. Yeah, no, my sticking music was being shaky this morning. It really grinds my gears. But Sulu. All right. I think we can start cooking now. You know what I think I'm gonna put on my throne account? One of those stupid the coffee things that has the warming pad. Because either that cup is just not meant to hold warm liquids, or my little trinket thing is absorbing the heat, which I doubt it, because the trinket thing's cool too. Yeah. First world problems, am I right? Alright, tomato, come hither. 7:30. If nothing else, I am ambitious about what I think I can get done in a day. That's for sure. I think I'm going to pin it down a little ways, and then we'll flip it open and make sure we're not doing anything too squirrely. Like that. I'm just going to like roll this to get it up so that bottom piece doesn't slide all over the place. Okay. This is the fun game of deciding if we're going to be perfectionists or if we're going to have brain cells by the time this is all said and done. All right, I think we're doing good. I think we're doing great. You used to have one. It's okay. If it turns up, great. If not, course, that's still got all janky. Just trying to straighten it out so the edges can come together where they're supposed to. The other human has risen. Not the small one, the adult one. And I think our little finger trick at the top is still going to be relevant. Just need to flap the fabric around. No better. All right, at this point, I'm pretty confident that we've got it lined up like it needs to be, so I'm just going to pin my heart out down the side. Because I can always course correct when I have it underneath the needle. That doesn't bother me at all. Does not bother me at all. Oh my gosh, we tried to go to the park yesterday. And the preferred park is right next to the pool. And like where I live, it's muggy in the summertime. It just is. There's nothing to do about it. It's not hot. It is hot and wet. Okay. And we went. I'm like, you need to burn some energy, small one. I need you to go run. Not in the house. Go forth. And I was sitting there. I was over on the bench. And I was sitting there reading my book, wet. And you gotta be freaking kidding me. It was just wet. And like once we left the park, because there's stairs to walk down to it, and there's stairs to walk back out of the pit that it lives in. And like, I kid you not, once we got out of the pit, it felt great. I was like, wow, it actually feels really nice today. It was just the pool making it humid. Like, I almost went running to the ice cream truck when the ice cream truck showed. Because we have an actual ice cream truck in town now. I heard the music one day, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And yes, it was there. It's very cool. It was very, very cool. I just want to refresh that. Make sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, I think for the community at large, I think the next couple of things I want to try and get squared away for the streams are like command prompts and stuff. So something that I love that I see in a lot of different people's chats is when you do exclamation point lurk, there's always a chat message that pops up. Like I popped on a friend stream last night for a little bit and went into lurk mode because I was running around doing some other stuff. But when I did the lurk thing, the chat message that popped up was so and so is like lurking in the castle or something, and they've left a trail of ectoplasm behind them because they do a lot of spooky stuff on there. And I just think it's so cute. I was like, I need to do that. So when y'all like hit lurk commands and stuff, because I'm sure there's like a randomizer, so it won't say the same thing every time. And I love that. But those are all things I'll poke around with on the weekends, which feel like they're not coming fast enough. It's only Tuesday. Well, part of me is like, yeah, it's Tuesday. The other part of me is like, what do you mean it's only Tuesday? Is the green and the quilt of the grass? It's darker than grass green. It's like this is not a today problem, by the way, Grammy. This is definitely a Mama. This is like a Friday problem. Definitely a Friday problem. But it's close to. You remember that green that you pulled out and you went, "Oh, Jen, don't you want this for your blanket?" And I was like, "Nah, it's too dark because I like that pretty sage green better." That's the color green. Because I'm 99.9% sure you're looking in the box right now. Free to ask such a specific question. But honestly, if I could find a silver and a green, that would be really pretty on the back. That would be super pretty. Actually, I got sucked into the spotlight section of Snapchat, which it's like watching YouTube shorts or Facebook shorts, Facebook reels, all right? Sometimes I need that dopamine hit, okay? And there's this woman and she always has another model with her, and they go through like different color combinations, like the classic choice versus an elevated version of it. And I want to say that one of them was, maybe I was thinking of a blue and a silver combo, but it got me thinking about different ways to coordinate outfits, but two, coordinate quilts, because it's all colors in the end. My back's aching. The only reason my back's aching is because I did squats yesterday, but it's fine. I'm not dying by any means. I didn't stretch when I came home. I did not. I came home, I shoved food in my mouth, and I took a shower, went to bed. That was my 11:30 to midnight until 1 o'clock. This quilt is testing me and trying to buckle. I will not buckle under pressure today, quilt. Oh man, it's got me thinking about Encanto. Such a good movie. I cried a lot. Not just because I have like raging hormones or anything. It's just good. I actually figured out. I don't think it'll show up on the camera for you guys, but the bottom fabric is sitting to the left of the top fabric by like half an inch. So I'm able to kind of line it up without having to pick it up every 2 seconds. But now that we got a flow here, other than just tucking this up towards my light, we're making good progress. We might actually get that other pattern cut out. I hate to say it was kind of fun for me. It's like the only time where I have is whatever time that one starts to rustle from sleep. It's fun for me. The anxiety of it all is actually kind of nice. There is no good reason for anyone to be calling me at 7:30 in the morning. Mama, I literally cannot answer my phone because I'm using it to do this. That is why there's an extra thing. I can't answer the phone. I'm so sorry. If it's an emergency, text me though, because I can pull the notifications down. Oh, sorry, that's why I'm like debating on the concept of at least one other camera, so I can have my phone free during this. But it works for now. But now you understand why I'm like, oh, we can have camera. I keep talking about it. No, sorry, you didn't know. I also don't think I explained it very well the other day, like how the camera system's set up. Oh my gosh, I kind of ran into a friend at the gym last night. Almost. Basically, we passed each other in the reform, and I felt so bad because I was leaving. Apparently, she was yelling my name, and like I was out the door, got a snap from her, and it was the back of my head walking out of the gym. I was very confused. So very confused. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you yell my name. And she was like, bro, literally, like, your headphones were off. I was like, broski, I'm deaf. I was like, I'll look for you next time, though. She's like, okay. Felt horribly. But to be fair, in my defense, I don't know who touched the speakers at the gym. But oh my god, or maybe they got a new speaker system in, because I did bother to look up when I was on the leg extension was right underneath the speaker. It was right there, and it was a Bose, Bose, Bose. I don't know how you pronounce it. It was one of the fancy big speakers that they use for commercial settings, and it was right above my head, and it was at full blast, and I heard it over my headphones, even though my headphones were almost 100%. It was not okay. So by the time I did take my headphones off, ouch, and I was walking out of the gym and my friend was calling my name, no, I didn't hear because my brain was still playing whatever song was playing on the thing. But to be fair, some of the regulars were, because you can, when you're in Planet Fitness, you can download Rockbot and you can have some say over the music that plays. It is still like a queue list and people can downvote your stuff out of the list or whatever, but you can, and it's cool because you kind of sometimes I like to pull it up and I like to look at the usernames of who's active and look around the gym and try and figure out like who's requesting which songs. It's kind of fun for me. Two of the regulars were in there. They had full control of it, and it was nothing but um, Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed. I was living. I ended up taking my headphones off for a couple of songs. So I was like, man, this is better than what my like shuffle is doing right now. I'll just keep listening to this stuff. And then someone turned on like, oh, some kind of like weird rap thing, like noisy rap, maybe. I like. Don't get me wrong. I consider myself a musicphile. I love music in all of her various shapes and forms. But like, I like noisy K-pop. Noisy K-pop is great because usually the noise has a purpose. Or is it mumble rap? Because I know mumble rap's a thing. I want to hear you articulate the message you're trying to get across, friend. I did get to listen to some Notorious B.I.G. last night, though. It's good. Because I'm a P-I-M. Anywho. Yeah, because what time did I get there? Like 10:45 last night. And I was trying to do one of my hip exercises. And all of a sudden I heard the telltale sign of a Breaking Benjamin, which is like the slow bit of the chorus going into the next verse, and all I heard was "So tell me." I was like, "Oh no!" So I took my headphones off and listened to that. It was really good for me. I love Diary of Jane. That I didn't realize how much of that album I knew until I started looking at. I think they're coming to town in October. I think it was Breaking Benjamin was coming into town this year. And I was looking at the set list and I was like, oh my god, I actually know like DVD players making noise. Of the 19 songs, I can aggressively confirm that I know 16 of them. One I was a little 50-50 on, but it's like I was an angry teenager. I was like, how do I know all these songs? Because most of the songs that I know from them, I listened to pre-college or early college years. Mostly pre-college, because once I got to college, I was listening to all kinds of crazy stuff. I think the first time I heard Remedy was 2011. It was my first semester freshman year at ECU by Seether. That was when I got introduced to Seether. Breaking Benjamin I'd known about since high school. And Flogging Molly. Flogging Molly was the other big one that I learned about in college. The first year anyways. I think the first Flogging Molly song that I heard was Seven Deadly Sins. Still my favorite. I have explored to other bands since then. The Wolfhounds, I like their stuff. Particularly their rendition of oh my god, what's the actual title of the song? Humors of Whiskey. Their rendition of Humors of Whiskey is my favorite. Mostly because I can stay on pitch for the most part. Now that's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day, but that's okay. It's one of my better. Well, not better, but it's one of the more tolerable songs that my brain can get stuck on. Did mommy text me? Hold on. Oh, they're going to the garden. Okay, that's it. Oh, mommy was letting me know she had to get out the stream. I love her so much. Yeah, there's they're still gardening. I think there's still peas to be picked. I think they're going to cut okra this morning. And I am personally invested in the collards at this point because I planted most of them. I had to really think about it because the first day we planted, I think I did. Pops did one row. I did the other 4 or 5, and yeah, because he did 1, I did 3, and then I went back and did 2 more. So he did 1, I did 5, and the 1 row was only 20, 25 plants, and then I did the other one. I planted. Now, I'm not discounting the work he did at all. He went out there and dug all them freaking holes. And I was like, which is my least favorite thing. Okay. Quick side tangent. I hate post hole diggers. I hate them. I hate using them. I hate how they feel. I hate how flimsy they are. Terrible. If I had to dig a circular hole, I would still rather take a spade. I would take a fancy shovel over a pothole. I can't. And that's a little bit of like some deep seated childhood memories too. But anyways, so he pops down all them dang holes. I just crawled on the ground and put them in the dirt. But I'm personally invested in their survival rate. So every few days I call them like, did you look at them? Did you look at them today? Are they okay? Did it rain yet? Did you have to take any plants out? Tell me. Yeah, I hope I'm not being annoying or overbearing about it. I just, it's like having okay, to me it's like having a kid. Like, it's your babies. You gotta take care of your plants. Now, that being said, I can't keep a houseplant alive to save my life for the most part unless it lives outside, but then it's an outside plant, so. All right, and that is pinned. Phew. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and cut out and hopefully I will open this up like a book and yes. Success-ish. All right, so we're not going to freak out if it looks a little janky because, mind you, where I put the pins at, we're going to be sewing further into the blanket. Okay, so by the time we put the stitch in, like, this little Olaf will be like this. He will be perfect and beautiful and singular in nature. Okay, so that's one less stressful thing we gotta worry about. Hooray! And I'm gonna end up sewing it backwards. I'm sewing it from the bottom to the top so that way I can pull the pins out without hurting myself. No, wait. No, I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Never mind. So we're going to somehow delicately fold this without stabbing ourselves. Yeah, I'm so sure the reason Creamy was asking about that is because she has I think she has the exact colors that I need to tie this with. It usually happens. Most of what Grammy had in her stashes when she was alive ended up passed down to various relatives. And I missed out on a lot of it because I was not the person then that I am now, and that's okay. Because my relatives still have pretty much everything. And when I say my mom has a bucket of tie-in thread, actually, let me show you what it looks like. Because I did get sent with some, and actually that might be one that I need. This is what we use to tie thread with. It is technically crochet thread. Doilies, lacy things. That's what you use this for because it's so small. And it actually says on the side, like, your lace hook. But this is what we use to tie quilts together with. And when I say mom has a bucket, mom has a bucket. It's like this deep. Wait. Okay, I'm 5'3", so someone that's good at doing that kind of math, like, it's deep. I could probably, if I took everything out, I could probably get most of the way into it. Probably not close it, but I could get into the tub. Okay, so it's a lot. And I think there is every color you could possibly want. Multiples of some, because I had to pull out skeins for a quilt that she's making for me, like my first quilt for my mommy. And I picked out 2 threads for mine because I wanted it to be alternated colors to it. And I think for both the sage green that I pulled out and the rust, there were multiples. It's like, when I say Mom's probably got it, Mom's probably got it. So we're gonna, that come Friday, we won't have the tie through that we need. And I gotta make some phone calls. So I think we're gonna try and cut this out. First we're gonna see how the markings overlap each other, because if I can cut it out at a larger size and still be able to figure out where the shorter size is supposed to be, I'm not going to bother tracing it. We're just going to cut it and be done. Because this is a for me project. Sometimes you gotta just do stuff for yourself. But we're going to do the shorts and... Okay, good. There's only one style of short. I was looking at front and back pictures. Okay. Sometimes you gotta be careful because this one's got a bunch of different shirt options. So there's only one jogger, one short, but then like 3 different shirt options. Okay. Do I have enough cording for that? Cording's pretty cheap. I'll worry about that later. That's a later problem. So I need... Next time I'm going to have the camera over here, I think. So this stuff isn't reversed for y'all. Shorts E, pants F. Oh! Okay. And this is why we always read our instructions first. Because the pants and shorts are the same pattern piece, which explains why this is such a thin packet to begin with. So I'm going to show it to you in the upward camera. So if you look here, it says P7, P7. There's an E and there's an F. And there's a line right here. So F is the joggers. So if you're going to make the joggers, we would cut out the entire leg piece. But we're only making shorts, so we only need down to this line. So because I am both lazy and crafty, I have a plan. So we don't have to trace it, because I really don't like tracing them. But that does add a, albeit small, additional layer to the... I don't feel like tracing it, but I'm making sure we can still see the original pattern. And also, finished measurement. I don't care about the side length from the waist. I want to know, well, the waistband probably doesn't matter because it's stretchy. Width of each leg. That's what I care about because I have huge quads. So we're going to check very quickly and just make sure that'll work. I'm not going to show you this bit. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Because with all of the, like, weight loss and whatnot, I have huge quads. Like, they're freaking massive. Okay, so I am including, so I have, like, a little fat pocket, and so I'm including that in my measurement because I don't want that to get, like, aggressively squished, because that would just make me super sad and be very uncomfortable. So about, including the little fat pocket, 26 inches. So we are going to make it to the... I don't want to make it to the extra large. I think we're just going to do the... Okay. The other thing I know is that sometimes with these, when you're using certain fabrics, it's smaller or it's bigger. Like that stretchy stripe dress that I made it to what should have been the right size, and it's huge. So we're going to size it down by 1. Because I would rather something be just a smidge too tight than too big. That will irritate me more than anything else. We're going to do the large. Official verdict, we're going to make it in the large. Ain't getting any bigger. Ain't getting any bigger. Okay. All right, glorious, glorious, uncut. So what we're going to do, because the shorts are attached to the pants. Oh my god, hi! Mr. Big. I'm doing fabulous today. I hope you are. I switched from streaming at dark 30 at night to dark 30 in the morning. And it's been fun. It's been good. I much prefer this. I have energy and actually can be productive at 6:30 in the morning. But how have you been? Oh, you're okay. Don't stress. Don't stress about it at all. I understand. I was trying to watch a friend King Art stream the other day, and I was also trying to message somebody on Snap, and my phone had a legitimate aneurysm. Like I thought I was gonna have to shut it down. Wild behavior. But I'm so happy you're here. I'm glad you got to hop on. Because I was looking for you last couple streams, and I'm like, where are my regulars? And I was like, you know what? They could probably actually watch if I didn't stream at 2 a.m. EST. So I made some changes for me and for y'all. But what I already got done, because I have been moderately productive, is I pinned together the pieces for my next commission quote. So it's again 2 like huge pieces of fabric. But I lined it up so I don't have to do any crazy trimming, and so it should be one big seamless piece of Olaf fabric. That took forever, but it's done now. Right now, I'm working on cutting out pattern pieces for some athletic wear. This is, what is this? McCall's M7610. So it has tank tops, and it has pants, and it has shorts. And what I just came to realize right before you hopped on is that the shorts are not a separate pattern. They're incorporated into the pant. So we're going to have to get creative about doing this because I'm not tracing this out, because this pattern is for me. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I live in athleisure. I have on athleisure shorts, and I have on, this is 99.9% of what I wear unless I really feel the need to wear like a dress. You can't catch me wearing pants unless it's something like where I need to be wearing pants. No. Then again, once I make my own pants, that will probably be not the most truthful statement, but that's a future us problem. But the reason we're doing this is because I want to start mentally prepping for making trousers and excuse me, linen pants. I have a really cool pant pattern, and I have a really, really, really pretty like a sage green linen that I think I have just enough to make pants with. I'm terrified, okay? I am concerned. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let me do the shorts, because I'm going to use a jersey knit anyways. It's going to be forgiving. It's going to have space. Like if I'm going to like muck up anything, this is what we need to muck up on. I need to drink water. I also need to unfold this. This is all... None of this is what I need. I don't know why I unfolded it all don't know why I thought there was a pant leg on that. I'm trying to find the pant leg so we can all like look at it and be amazed together. To hood and pant. There we go. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. That's upside down. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay. So we can all understand what's happening together. Because hopefully if I say it out loud for y'all, I'll, remember and not freak out. Okay. So, funny enough, this is also the piece that has the preparing the pattern note on it. Wonder why that is. Okay. So this is the jogger leg and the shorts together. Okay. So it starts up here, it goes down a little bit past the camera. Because they're meant to be like 3/4. They come down, they'll probably cut off at my calf. Which is a problem we're going to worry about another day. Because I can't stand that feeling. But anyways, there's a ton of lines. I'm going to go through them one little bit at a piece. So there's, of course, the grain line running this way, so we know which way our like fabric needs to be able to stretch, right? Which way the grain's supposed to go anyways. Lines over there are sizes, which is fine. Oh, good. This only goes down to a large. Excellent. We only have to cut this one time. Good. Good soup. So then we have a lengthen or shorten line. Way up here. So if I need to adjust the crotch, this is where I will cut it at. I'm going to measure that not on here with y'all. The next set of lines that we have is the actual crotch line, which we've got 3. 1, 2, 3. One for the large, extra large, double X. We're going to cut at the large. And then down here is the bottom of the short. These are going to be short. Preference. So, and it says cut here for E, and it tells us how much our hem's going to be. So if I really want to, I could probably, when I'm cutting the fabric out, cut a little extra so I have a little extra wiggle room on the hemline. Might do that for fun. And then the rest of it is pant related, but the pants also have a lengthen or shorten line right here. And then it goes down to the bottom. So what we're going to do, so I don't mess up the pant, because I do want to make the joggers too, is we're going to cut out the whole jogger pant. And then when we pin this to fabric, we're going to be brave. Thank you. Thank you, Dizzle. As I said it and then immediately forgot. But we're going to cut out the whole pant leg. When we lay the pant leg onto the fabric, we're going to fold up the leg to where we want to cut the shorts at. And that way we save the whole pattern piece. Yay! And I think we'll be able to fit this back into the package. If not, I will probably off stream, because I can't get over there right now, put it into a pattern Ziploc from The Great and Powerful. I think Nancy Zyman made them. That feels right. Okay. Skizzers. The thing about having kids is however many scissors you think you need 5 more pairs of scissors. And I think those are just going to be a little one. Those are going to be the new fabric scissors. These are going to have to be pattern scissors, and that's okay. Yeah, that's fine, because I have like fresh fabric scissors. These, there's a divot in here somewhere that's just annoying enough that when I'm in the middle of cutting fabric, it gets on my nerves. So we're just gonna lovingly make it for patterns. So we need this. We need this skinny elastic piece right here. The waistband is on here as well. There's no cuff for the shorts. And then our pockets are up here as well. Why are there two pockets? A side front pocket. We get two pockets. Two different style pockets. I'm very confused. We're going to cut it out. It has the right lettering on it, so we obviously need it. And then, what did I say we're going to do? I think we're just going to cut it to the large. I'm trying to mentally decide if I have faith in my body composition. Yes. We're going to cut it to the large. And the reason I'm so okay with doing that is, for one, still trending downward. But two, when winter comes along and it is time to start bulking up again, you know who's not going to be wearing shorts in the gym in the wintertime? I'll be wearing sweatpants. I'm not going to be wearing shorts. And then they'll be here for next spring and summer. I actually had a really good lift yesterday. I even remembered to post some of it to Snapchat. Which I should probably start posting my streaming stuff to Snapchat. I have enough of a following there that a handful of people would probably hop on for a little bit. Maybe. What is underneath here? Oh, the thing. So we'll get this cut, and then we'll probably call it for today, because I do have to do other productive adult things. Garbage. Mostly clean and do laundry, though, so, like, important adult garbage. And then I need to decide if I need to make more zucchini bread, which I think I will, because I still have a bunch of zucchini. Well, let me rephrase. Not a bunch quantity, a bunch. The three that I have are all 2 pounds apiece. And a 1 pound zucchini will make 1 loaf of zucchini bread. So I might be making some to take to Mama's house on Friday. Because I never had zucchini bread before, and I have probably about 20 cookbooks altogether, right? Some of them are cuisine specific, like I have one that's just Korean cooking. I have one that's just vegan. So I did go through, or no, vegetarian. Every now and again, I just don't want to eat meat, which is wild considering I'm still like munching on steaks from where Pops grilled out the other day. But anywho, I have lots of cookbooks, but my main 5 are my personal notebook that I have some things transferred into from other places, a test kitchen cookbook that's like thick, because it doesn't just have the recipes in it, it has explanations on what they changed, why they changed it, like the whole scientific process behind it, which I love. It's good for me. It helps me understand why I can't, or why I should substitute out something for something else. I have the first cookbook that my mom bought me, which was a breast cancer edition of Better Homes Gardens Cooking or something. Now I can't remember the title, but it's got pink gingham on the front and back. And I love that thing. I have used it a lot over the years. And I also have a, what else do I have over there? Those two. There's The Joy of Cooking, that it was a re-release from 1970s, and it has a lot of like European dishes in there too, which is really fun. And I'm forgetting a book. Big stretch. Okay, and there's like one more. But anyways, I had 3 different options for making the zucchini bread, and the test kitchen one was the one where I needed the least amount of additional ingredients. So that's the one I used. And y'all, it is sweet. It is moist. It is delicious. So stinking good. And it called for pecans or walnuts. Nuts are expensive. Okay? That's been expensive for a while. I don't know when they're not going to be, but they're expensive. So I buy them sparingly, and I didn't want to buy a bunch that I wasn't going to use or put it in something that I wasn't going to enjoy eating. What I did already have in the pantry was hazelnuts. And so I still follow the recipe of crushed them a little bit, toasted them, cooled them down. And the hazelnuts went really, really well with it. I think the pecan or the walnut would have been fine because you toast them first, they don't stay squidgy because you're already drawing all the moisture out of them through the oven. They maintain the crunch after the bread is baked. And I'm sure they would have been fine. Like I enjoy the flavor of a walnut. I enjoy the flavor of pecan. But the hazelnut was just a little extra, like, earthy. It was really good. So that is the one probably consistent change I will use for that, is use hazelnuts going forward instead of or just use whatever's on sale. But now that I know we have the option, like hazelnuts work well, that is always an option going forward. I don't know if you can see me cutting this or not. I've just been like slowly inching it back towards myself so you guys can't see anything. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's okay, we're almost done though. But also, minor vent session, because I need to vent to somebody about it and y'all are here with me. YouTube's algorithm for choosing songs after you pick your initial one. Is YouTube like super pro AI slop right now? Is that a thing? Because we have not watched K-pop Demon Hunters, but my child loves the soundtrack. Okay, we're really big on Golden. We're really big on what it sounds like. I'm really big on how it's done. Because I'm sorry, that Napalm Airline, that whole little like interlude, it hits every time. But anyways, sometimes when I do not feel like giving up my phone and headphones, I will put it on YouTube on TV and just let it go. And it'll mix in other K-pop songs like Zen by Jennie and stuff, and she likes those, and some of the League of Legends specific things. Those were really good. But I happened to hear the song playing again. I think it was Golden again. And I heard it playing. And I looked at the screen and I saw the video had been AI altered so that the scene extended past what's in the movie. And you could tell the minute it turned into AI, like it was just. And then I looked down at the next couple of like set videos that were going to come through, and they were all like that. I was just like, what in the world? Why? And then like there was one where there's probably a setting I can go into like from my phone or my laptop and fix it. But there was one where like it was the music video, but they were all in military uniforms, and I was like, yeah. So I've been giving up my phone for music time more often than not, because that just irritated the bejesus out of me. Because like for me, I don't mind hearing a song more than once, but if I happen to actually be invested in the music video, I don't want like it's animated, but people still put good effort into that. I want the original. You know, gently edited, clipped. Okay. Oh, to are we not cutting? How many does it say? Cut to. Oh, I okay, okay. About the pockets. About the pockets. I have inferred this without actually reading the instructions, so theoretically I'm right. So the reason there is side front pocket and an actual pocket. So let's just pretend we only have piece 8 to look at, okay? So in sewing land, it says cut to, okay? Which sounds great until you realize that you need 2 pieces of this to make 1 pocket, right? Piece 6 also says cut to. So what I think we're going to actually end up doing here is I think the pockets might be getting sewn to the sides of the shorts, and then it will all come together. Which makes sense. Sometimes it looks better that way anyways. Instead of trying to like, because the dress I made for the small one, I had to cut 4 of the same like pocket thing. So I think it could be because of the nature of the beast, like because it's supposed to be using like knit jerseys, the style of the short itself. There's always a reason. And today I'm just trying to get close to the blue line. I don't want to cross it. Can always make adjustments when we're cutting out the actual fabric. So no stress here. And we might actually pull out the serger to do this. To do our finishing hemlines and things. Which means I gotta pull her out and get her cleaned off and then reset up everything for tomorrow. So tomorrow we will go ahead and stitch the Olaf top together, I think. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll stitch the top of the Olaf blanket together, and we will then cut pattern pieces out, I think. Because that'll give me, well, the fabric I'm going to use is already washed. So it's ready to go because I used it for something else as well. So it'll really be just setting up the table. Can't tell if that was small child noise or cats making weird noises. Probably cats making weird noises. Excellent. All right. I didn't even like to see which pieces we need, but we have 6 and 8, both the pockets. 9 is going to have the actual shorts on it. 11 is our elastic for the waistband, because we always need the elastic guide. Nice, the small one has arisen, so we're going to double check what we need and then call it quits. 6. Okay, so I need 7, have 6, 8, 9, 11. So we need 10, which is on that other piece, and then 7 for the front. The 10 is on this. Oh, there's a bunch of stitch lines on here. I was like, why are there so many lines? It's just stitch lines. We're fine. Okay. I like how there's a checkbox on this so you can check off which one you're doing. That's cool. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm going to finish cutting this one out with you guys, and then I'll have to do the last piece off stream because the good morning crew is here. And if you have kids, you know. If you don't have kids, the patience meter first thing in the morning is usually pretty low to start. I don't want to push my luck today. At least my kid's patience level is pretty low at the beginning of the day. Okay. Did she actually bite her room? I'm gonna sort of crush all that to the side. All right, we're gonna call it here for today. I will cut out the front part, excuse me, of the shorts off stream. It's just one piece of fabric. It's gonna look just like the big piece that we already cut out. So no worries there. I will attempt to play you guys out. I don't know how well that's gonna work because the music was being extra stupid dumb this morning, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try our best. But I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful, fantastic rest of your day. Everything goes well. And we are almost halfway through the week. Tomorrow will be halfway. Oh, excellent. All right. Anyways, that's gonna wrap us out at Sip It So for today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, circa 6:30. Maybe a little bit beforehand. Depends on how functional my brain decides to be at 5 a.m. Anywho, I see you guys later and have a good day.